backpack vibrates.
That's awesome. Go for it. Oh, she probably doesn't want you to use the towel.
No, you're right.
All right, go for it.
Oh. Hey everyone, I didn't get a chance to do my Dart Zone Pro Mark III video yet. I really wanted to do it in the daylight and I ran out of time today. That's okay. I was doing some fun birthday stuff with my partner. We had a nice breakfast, played a board game. It was lovely. Anyway, I thought that this might be a good time to do something I've been meaning to do for a while. I was recently just reminded because Coop did a video on it. This isn't really as much of a review as I'm sure that will be. I haven't watched it yet. I will. This is more about the Out of Darts Jupiter kit and how it was my first mod project. And I just want to kind of share some thoughts and some fun times that I've had with it. And I'm going to share a bunch of video clips from different parties, events, just having friends and family try it out. This has really been just such a gateway into the hobby, a fun first project, and kind of one of the most fun things that you can show somebody that's new to it. Let me talk really quickly about what this is. This is a fully 3D printed blaster from Out of Darts. You can order a kit online and assemble it yourself, or every once in a while they have kits available to buy. Those usually go pretty fast. I opted to build my own. I thought it'd be a good project to learn to solder. I spent probably a small fortune because I didn't have anything to solder, so I bought a soldering iron. I actually bought one that wasn't really good enough, and then I eventually bought a better one. But man, I learned a lot doing this, and kind of ambitious for a first mod project, but I wouldn't have done it any other way. It was so satisfying to get it working. So this is a fully automatic Nerf Rival firing blaster in such a small form factor. It runs on 3S LiPo, this one does, which are these batteries that people use in different hobbies, from RC cars to Nerf to drones. They just pack a lot more punch. There is a lot of safety involved in them. I might put a link into a LiPo safety guide, not from me, from someone who's qualified to give you more tips about LiPo safely. You need to keep them in a fireproof bag, you need to charge them properly, etc. Also, whenever you're using a LiPo, you really should use a voltage alarm, and that just tells you if things are getting a little low, etc. You might notice that my stuff doesn't really fit in the chamber of the blaster. There's a good reason for that, which I'll get to later. So let's just, for now, it is certainly possible to get everything, not this LiPo alarm, it's too big, but it is certainly possible to get everything tucked away in this battery chamber, and it looks like a nice clean blaster on its own. You put these magazines that are official Rival magazines in the back. They pop in here, and then you rev this trigger down at the bottom. You're firing out, you're emptying a clip in well under a second. Then to change the magazine, you can just pull it out and pop in a fresh one. You can, with a light trigger pull, you can shoot in little bursts, but you definitely, it's almost impossible to shoot one at a time. Generally, I end up shooting in 3-round bursts, I would say. When you're running around, if you point someone at this, you're probably going to empty the clip, but, there's a good chance you'll hit them because you'll just have almost like a shotgun blast of rival balls going at them. A really cool kit. I can't recommend it enough. Canadian, it is about $120 to buy it. And, I'm sure that seems like a lot for a Nerf blaster, and it did to me too. Now that I have a better idea of the parts and the cost and the labor and the print time from doing some of my own printing, it seems like a lot better deal than it used to when I first got it. But you're getting a project, you're getting something to learn. And I actually built a second one with my stepson Luke, and that was really cool because he did a lot of his own soldering in this. He really built most of this with me kind of giving a little bit of guidance here and there. Test firing, hopefully it works. And this is kind of a reminder of another thing is when you order this online, you can get it. There are so many color options. So this isn't something that you can pay for the files and print yourself at home. You do have to buy the parts and everything from out of Darts, but you know, the quality of the printed pieces are all really, really good. I've had really good luck. Everything has fit together so well. Another cool thing, I've talked about the Rival curve shop before. Luke was actually, out of Darts, is way ahead of the game. This little hop-up tab in there, you can turn this. So you can actually curve the balls that are fired out of this, just like those brand new Nerf curve shop blasters that I've talked about before, or if you've seen them in store. And this is designed a few years ago now. I'll have a few pictures of me building it. Definitely nothing close to a mod guide for this. This was a long time ago. Out of Darts is really good about support of questions and things like that. They actually sent me a new pusher motor when I thought that I might have accidentally ruined mine while soldering it on. So just amazing customer service. Can't recommend using them enough. Remember when I talked about that there was a good reason that the back here of mine was open? That is because the next step is having one of these. This is the Proton Pack from Out of Darts. This chamber holds almost 500 when you count the balls by the time they're up in the tube. There are all sorts of kits that you can attach different containers. People have attached 1,000 rounds or more to these and had them in a backpack. I went for the whole kit as it was designed here. This is definitely plenty of rounds to pick up. So the neat thing about this is if you have this kit, you can connect this. This slides into the mag well, just like so. We have a beefier battery. I'm not very good at closing up doors, but this is just, I'll put this around my neck. This is just such a cool thing. I've been taking this to parties. I'm going to share a bunch of clips of that too. And this is always just eyes wide, blowing people's minds, parents, kids. I have a few game types that I've done with this, some defender games where I have one person with this and a bunch of other people attacking, and they're just able to spray down the field and hold them off, and it's always a hit, whether it's using it in games or just letting them give it a try. Once you have this, so this is a kit as well. I did put this together and kind of solder everything together as well. This was quite a project. I'd done a few other projects in between, but it was still a good amount of effort. I mean, both of these you could get the project done in an evening, especially if you know what you're doing. I spread mine out over a couple days because I was learning on this one for sure. This one took a bit longer and some trial and error. This one went pretty smoothly though. But it's again all 3D printed. Just a great kit. There's definitely less expensive ways to get into a full auto setup that works as well as this. I just think this kit is a great way to, if you're just getting into it, to not feel as overwhelming. You have everything you need, from the wiring to the heat shrink to the exact right motors and the cage for the flywheels that fits. I just think if you're able, like if you have the money for it, it's just such a nice way, a nice simple way to get into it. And I think it's cool that it's all 3D printed as well. It makes a really neat conversation piece too. First time you're firing it, you want to rev it up. So loud. You want to rev it up a few times. There's an agitator in here and a blower, and that'll kind of fill this hose up with rival balls. But once that's all done, then it's pretty quick firing from then on out. If you notice that this is a little bit less, I did have a bit of a jam in there. These things happen occasionally. Anyway, there's an agitator in there. I squeeze this rev trigger. It agitates the balls to make sure there's a steady flow. And then this is pressurized, pushes them all up through the tube and into a pusher in here. This is fully automatic, as you have seen. So here we go. Let's fire off, let's fire off 100. I even have a little special backpack that I have for storing the Jupiter and the Proton Pack. As you can imagine, this thing firing it outside is a little bit problematic for picking up all the rounds. I typically use it inside or outside in a big enough field where I can recover rounds. I use a weasel nut grabber to hit a garden thing for walnuts to help pick them up, and that helps quite a bit. So not the most practical thing, but it's so cool. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's one of my Nerf showcase things when people are wondering why I'm into it. I know I've talked about the Ultra 2 being my favorite blaster. Really, this is my favorite blaster for many special reasons and getting me into the hobby and just the fun that all of us in my family and friends have had running rival balls through this. It's fired thousands and thousands and thousands, probably literally tens of thousands of rounds through this thing. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoy. I don't know where I'm going to sprinkle them in. I hope you enjoy a bunch of the footage of different kids and people and friends getting to give this a try. And I hope you'll go to Out of Darts, and I hope you'll check out a Jupiter and think about a kit as what a great project. It's a great parent-kid project too, or just a project for you. And the Proton Pack, you got to be pretty serious to get into that with the cost of this kit. But it's really cool. Anyway, till next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.